Good day and welcome to a new update, and today we have seen Bitcoin bouncing up a little bit from 36k, as right now the price is 37.3. But what should you be looking at and why are we actually seeing a little bit of strength? That's what we're going to discuss in this short second update of the markets. But before that, do not forget to subscribe and like this YouTube update. Make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, as those are the platforms where I make daily content on the market. So, recap of what we have seen on this week. We've had a Fed meeting, and because of that Fed meeting, they announced or are possibly going to do quantitative tightening, or at least going to devalue or make their QE lower, in the sense that they are going to scale that off and they're going to look to actually hike the interest rates as well during the year. Because of that, we've seen strength in the dollar, and the dollar showing strength is usually not a great sign for Bitcoin, as when the dollar is showing strength, assets that are risk on are showing weakness. Now today the dollar has been showing a bit of correction, and immediately we can see a little bit of strength coming from the indices, and we can see a little bit of strength coming from Bitcoin too. So should that mean that we are all over again making ourselves bullish, or should we be looking at high time frame levels to actually become bullish? Well, technically speaking, the last statement is what you should be doing. Anything between 34 and 38k is just range bound. That is for scalp traders, day traders, not making much sense. However, the fact is that we are potentially getting a longer period of sideways action, and in that period we have a period of accumulation where you should be building, where you should be looking for projects that might be big for the next run up to be going for. So in that case, why did Bitcoin bounce and what should you be looking at in terms of levels? Let's head towards the charts. So what I just said is that we're currently seeing a minimal corrective move of the dollar. Why is that? Well, it's still approaching a resistance. So TA also works on these items. So that's something that you should be looking at. Right now we are still in this block. We are trying to break above this resistance zone, and when we look at the lower time frames, we can do those fake outs once again. So we've got this beautiful run here, we've got a breakout as well, and now the crucial area for the dollar or the DXY to hold on to is that area around 69.65. If that doesn't happen, we're going to see more weakness of the dollar. And because of that weakness, I assure you that the moment that the dollar is going to show that more, I'm expecting Bitcoin to have more strength, and possibly we can have a test happening at 41k for Bitcoin. Now, what we also see is that the yields are consolidating at this point. The yields have been showing strength itself, have been running up and are currently at 1.8%. But if those yields are going to drop even more, or are going to reverse a little bit, that could be a sign that risk on assets are going to run even more at this stage. And then next, the Nasdaq, they opened in the red, but as we can see, we are bouncing up quite nicely. So the formation of a potential bottom are going to be created here, in which we can have some short-term momentum if the DXY is going to show weakness, as then this one will also be showing a little bit more of strength with the crucial level at 14.5k. Now going back towards Bitcoin, you can see the exact opposite of the dollar, right? The dollar is dropping down today, Bitcoin is making bounces up. We've had a clear rejection taking place at the area of 37.5, which is still an important level to watch at this point, as if this is going to break, it's a first start of a potential higher test, and that is the next area of 38.5, which we have been testing previously. But if we're going to have such a period, it seems likely that we can have expansion all the way towards 41k, and 41k is the higher time frame area that we should be cracking or reclaiming, as it has been acting as a support and resistance quite often in the past history. So if we want to become bullish on higher time frames, 41k is the one to go for. Anything beneath, I definitely am not bullish, and also beneath 38.5k, I'm just cautious and not looking for too many longs, unless we get higher time frame bullish divergence in the region that we've got lower here. So right now we are facing resistance. We're waiting for a clear breakout to take place for a trade, and it's all minimal. as the volume is quite low. Ethereum against Bitcoin, we have been anticipating a drawdown exactly from the area that we have been rejecting here. First zone I thought we were going to bounce from was 0.07. However, weakness has been shown there, in which we immediately flipped it for resistance, and now we are looking for support to be taking place, and we are currently on one. However, the trend is still heavily downward, so I'd definitely be looking at shorts at this stage if we get into this region, or the second one around 0.073. If we get into lower bounds of the range, I'm heavily looking for longs on Ethereum. And as Ethereum against Bitcoin is bouncing up, we can see the exact same taking place on Ethereum against USDT, which is still stuck in a range. So overall, dollar a little bit weakness on the dollar. That's why Bitcoin is going to go up. If the dollar is going to correct even more, if it drops beneath 96.65, I think that Bitcoin might be able to test 41k, and then we are going to see what's going to happen next on the markets. But that's the short update for today. Don't forget, make sure to subscribe beneath, like this YouTube update, and I'll see you again tomorrow for a fresh new one. Have a good day.